Hi, today we are diving in something super cool and also new for my channel, 3D printed knitting and crocheting tools. And yeah, you heard it right, we will mix up old school craft and new school tech. If you are new on my channel, my name is Kate and I received an incredible gift on my birthday a few months ago. It was a 3D printer and of course I tried to print some knitting and crocheting tools for myself. And now we are going to talk about them. I'll share what I like and I use every day and what I don't like and I don't find useful at all. And the first thing I printed for myself were markers, the simplest one like this. I love these simple ring markers. I use them almost in all of my projects and they always get lost, unfortunately. I love markers from my Chia Goose set. There were markers which came with Chia Goose twist set with my needles. A simple ring marker, nothing fancy about them, but I love using them for raglan lines to separate section of the work when I do color work or I have lace motifs. It's just make knitting easier. And I also love the markers I use, for example, for raglan line. I love when all of the markers in the same color. Maybe it's a bit crazy and it's definitely not necessary, but I love when it looks nice and aesthetic. And I also match the color of these markers to my projects. For these rose-shaped ones, I used my own models, but I also found models for cat markers and cloud markers, and all of these models would be in the description. They print quickly and easily, they don't require a lot of filament, and it's a very nice and definitely useful thing for a knitter. I love knitting socks on DPN needles and I prefer DPNs to Magic Loop. Yeah, that's me. And I have a lot of them and I were keeping them in a pile in a cupboard you see behind me. I also have a lot of crochet hooks in different sizes which also were in this pile, so it was a mess there. And then I got my 3D printer. I was like, maybe I can print something to organize this mess. So I found this model. You probably will hear this sound. I'm sorry, because a lot of needles and crochet hooks are here. It's a holder for your needles and for your crochet hooks. It has different sections and each section has a number here, so it's very easy to find the hook or needles I'm looking for. It also can rotate easily. It means when it's on my cupboard, it doesn't take a lot of space and everything accessible for me. Here I have sections for needle 1.75 or crochet hooks 1.75 till number 6. And that's not enough for me. I have like these big needles number 10. I have crochet hooks in the bigger sizes, so I keep them in this middle section of this holder. It's okay for now, but maybe I will consider to print one more and add my own numbers. It's very convenient, it takes a lot of space. The only thing I don't like about this thing, I don't like how the numbers looks, because it was the first project when I was using this technology which allows me to print something in 2 different colors, 2 or more. And I don't think it turned out great. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I don't know what happened here, but I don't want to waste plastic. I already printed it, it's completely okay, it's useful, it's not bothering me, but it doesn't look as I wish, and it's always in my cupboard, so I don't look at it like constantly. I see it only when I need something and I grab it and I go. It's fine, I'm not in love with the look of this holder. You can also print it in one color and still have these numbers on each section if you want to, and I think it would look better. Or you can print the same holder with sections and everything but without numbers at all. There are different options for you if you have a 3D printer. I wanted a yarn ball for myself for a really long time, so Of course, I printed one for myself to keep my yarn from tugging and keep it in place, keep it from running away from me. But I won't say I'm happy with this print, and nothing wrong with the model, it's just the idea of yarn ball itself. The idea behind the yarn balls is you put your yarn inside, you can use these holes to put your yarn through, so it will keep it from tugging, it will keep it in one place, and it would be easy and comfortable to work with your yarn. But I just find myself not reaching out to this yarn ball. If we're talking about project where I work with only one ball of yarn, I find it easy to work on this project without using something like this. Yarn still will stay in place, it still won't toggle, so what's the purpose? And if I work on a color work or a project where I hold yarn double and I need to keep 2 yarn balls in this one, 2 yarn cakes, balls in this one yarn ball, it won't work because yarn will toggle inside this thing. These 2 yarn cakes will move around and it would be a mess anyway, so it's not useful in this case. And yeah, also for my projects, I mostly work on projects like sweaters or blankets, something big, so it means I have not one ball of yarn but more. So to go around and take with me the project bag where I have all the yarn for this project, needles, notions, and also this yarn ball, it's simply too much. So something inside here, something I will unravel very soon. And yeah, it's here. I'm still thinking I should use it because I already have it, but no, unfortunately it's turned out it's not very useful. And now something I absolutely love, and I have no idea how I lived without it before. It's a yarn holder that looks like this. The idea is you put your yarn cake or yarn ball, or it could be a cone of yarn, you put it here, you work on your project, and this thing rotates, and it's very nice and very comfortable to knit with this thing. I have a version like this, and wait a minute. And I also have a version like this. It's ideal for color work. You put 2 different cakes, different balls of yarn here, and you work with it very nicely and comfortably. Amazing. It's not only for color work. I'm pretty often working with 2 strands of yarn and I'm using 2 cakes for it. And it's also the projects where I use this double yarn holder. I put each cake here and here and just enjoy the process. Love this thing. I designed this model myself and it works perfectly with almost all types of yarn, balls, cakes, cones, and etc. I think I will do another version of this for yarn cakes because here it's I think 16 centimeters high, and for yarn cakes I would prefer it to be a bit smaller, so I think it would be much more comfortable to work with yarn cakes in this case. We'll see, I will test it and I will let you know. And the last thing I would like to show you today is a portable yarn holder. I think at some point they become super popular and right now they have a boom. So you most likely saw this tool already, and instead of buying one I decided to design a model and print it for myself. So that's again, it's my own model, and the idea here, it's more or less the same thing as a yarn holder. You put your yarn here, you take this strap, connect here, and you can take it with you. You can keep it on your arm, you can put it somewhere and hold it like this. For example, when you're in a car and you're a passenger princess, this could be very useful for you. You yarn here, it's rotating, and it's very comfortable to work on your projects on the go with this thing. I made myself a version which I made from scratch completely. I printed this and made a model for this yarn holder with carabine. I found a model, so it would be in the description and you can print it as well. And I crocheted with strap in the simplest way I know. So here like 3 rows of single crochet, that's it. And here we are, nice useful tool for my travel. I'm going to US next week and we are going to move around by car a lot. We will go from San Francisco to Seattle by car, and I think this one would be used a lot in this trip. Which one of these tools you like the most? Or maybe you have one of them and you have your own experience with it, and maybe you will share it with us in the comments. Would be useful for everyone. And also maybe you have other knitting and crochet tools which you find very useful and you don't know how to live without them. Share with me. Maybe I also need one. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, please put a like, because it was experiment for me and I'm interested to see what you thought about these knitting and crochet tools. Would you like to see more? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel to see more videos about knitting and crocheting, and also more experiments about different topics. And see you soon. Happy knitting, happy crocheting.